MCC thing to go live. All right, good afternoon, everyone. My name's Dancing Banana. I'm here with Nivex, and welcome to the start of Week 3 of the MCC Summer Circuit. Fast, how you feeling?
I'm feeling pretty good. We are getting right into this final week of group stage competition with a series that could potentially shake up Group B in conjunction with another series. So why don't you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, so Group B, today we are going to be seeing OKWU versus Kansas State. These are two teams that have had very interesting, how would you say, trajectories, I think is the right word to use. Because, right, last season, Kansas State, second place, Game 7, lost to Nebraska. Absolutely phenomenal run by them. They were doing the lower bracket run. OKWU kind of were disappointing last time, right? They lost around 1 to Washington State, and they didn't live up to the expectations they set for themselves in the regular season. But they came out with vengeance here in the summer circuit. They're 2-0. They've been down 1-2 in both of their matches against Delaware and UCF, and they've won in Game 5 in the end, showing major resilience. But now here they are against Kansas State, a team who is 1-1 and are hoping that a victory here can help make them get into the playoffs.
Absolutely. I mean, Kansas State is a team that last season in the spring, they lost, I believe, their very first upper bracket matchup and came all the way back to the grand finals. Whereas OKWU had a bit of an unfortunate ending to their season. And now we have an OKWU team where they're up 2-0 in this group stage, and Kansas State is 1-1. So, with all that said, who do you think is going to win this series? Because there could be some implications for Group B.
Yeah, and normally, I mean, we've been calling them the most entertaining team in all of MCC, Kansas State. Unfortunately, they got swept by UCF last week. And I think OKWU, they've been looking so good. They're regular season gods, some would say. And I think they're going to win this out right here. OKWU, give me them in 4.
OKWU in 4. I'll go with OKWU, but I will go with OKWU in 5, as per the MO for OKWU, as they seem to always win in Game 5 with some very low-scoring games. But hey, if it works, it works. OKWU, a very strong defensive team, and against a team that can be offensive, such as Kansas State, we will see if that holds true.
Yeah, and I think we're going to get into the game here very soon. And it's going to be a real interesting one. These are two teams that I don't know if they've actually faced each other last season. I don't believe they have, but looks like players are slowly jumping into the lobby and they are ready. And kickoff's about to go underway. OKWU on the blue, Kansas State on the orange side, and we go underway right away. Knight gets a big demo. OKWU starting off with some physicality here, but it will be Kansas State on the offense.
Knight looking to make an early opportunity happen for OKWU here. And we'll start here in this Kansas State corner. OKWU is no stranger to this particular situation, actually, but they are unfortunately getting scored on by Giro in that first 30 seconds. What I was going to say was OKWU is very used to, as I alluded to earlier, not having a very high scoring set of games. But Kansas State starting things off early.
Yeah, that's actually a really well played game there by Kansas State. They got already demoed twice, right? And right away, they have their first opportunity, proper opportunity on offense. And they make the most of it. Double send the people up. You have one going for the demo, and it works out well. And right now, they are on the offense, trying to take a shot here from Giro. Won't quite go in, but the next person up will be Knight. Clear out. Will be to a teammate. NK will not be there in time. But we'll just 50 out Moon, who has then a teammate to make the save. But Moon is just dribbling it out now, and yeah, the 50 will put it straight back into OKWU half.
Giro looking to be disruptive toward NK there, but we might have an opportunity for OKWU. Skeleton Jack on the left wall won't get there. To Alien Techno, who also won't get there.
There's so many demos.
Yeah. Yeah. Very demo heavy game here.
There's another one.
Yeah.
How many is that? That's 6 already?
Man, I mean, I love demos, but this is a little crazy if I had to say so myself. But NK having none of that right now. And Techno with an interesting touch. Out to Moon, and this ball is headed all over the place. Unfortunately, back to OKWU with a shot on net. Not quite doing there. And this is typical OKWU fashion, where we're looking at a very low-scoring game, at least for this past minute or so.
Yeah, very much a defense-style game, but the defense cracks and crumbles at the worst possible moment. Jiro is able to double up the score for Kansas State, and still 3 minutes left on the clock here for OKWU, but right now they are leaving holes in their defense, and Kansas State are taking them when they can.
I'm definitely carrying the caster curse that I had from the previous stream I did.
Oh, no.
And this will go in the net again. Alien Techno taking advantage of this kickoff. Unfortunately, he's just ready for it. Knight is lagging a little bit behind. And I guess when you cheat up, it works out. And Kansas State will go up 3-0 in this first game.
Yeah, I mean, it's a really good start for Kansas State, right? I mean, they got 3-0'd last week. It was a huge question mark coming into this week. UCF, arguably one of the best teams here. Oh, is that pinch in too? No, we'll be off. But UCF, probably one of the better teams. Teams I don't think their record quite shows how good they are. OKWU really making us called off guard on how good UCF actually is. But yeah, they got swept by them. But right now, their response to this OKWU team, who were able to take down UCF, is we're just better than you. 4-0 with more than half the game left.
I mean, UCF, as a newcomer to the MCC for this summer, who had not played in the spring, came into this season as one of the stronger teams by MMR. And obviously, OKWU on top of Group B at the moment, asserting themselves as the better team. Moon with a touch that could have led to a goal there. If you're OKWU, you're not necessarily used to coming back from these deficits, but they will make it happen, or at least get started as Knight. You could say it's a fake by Skeleton Jack, and Alien Techno and Moon don't know what to do there.
Yeah, there's still half the game left. It's not impossible. I'm not going to put my base guarantees on it yet, but yeah, no, OKWU, I think at this game right now, game ones are always interesting, right? Sometimes the team warms up. Teams, actually in the MCC, have been, a good amount of them have actually been using scrims before the games, like an hour beforehand, to get ready before the game, but there, Kansas State are able to score a 5th goal, and it's looking like it's out of reach once again. But as I was saying, MCC, we've seen a lot of teams using scrims a lot. We've been seeing them in-house scrims happening a good amount. I think UCF was actually asking for one earlier, same for Penn State, seeing those. So I think people are using that as warm-up, but sometimes people don't, and they'll come in the cold, and OKWU, they might be coming into this cold. We don't fully know.
It really is amazing to see, considering it's a summer league. You know, the MCC came to existence last spring, and now this is literally the first summer that we've been here, and it's quite the active scene, as you alluded to, with scrims happening, and it really is just an amazing place to be, and we'll have to see what future summers and even future seasons will look like. Knight on the back line now. If you're OKWU, you need to get moving to retake this lead. Skeleton Jack with a 50 into NK. And Skeleton Jack eager to put one away, but will be defended by Kansas State. And as the seconds tick down, you start to envision a Kansas State lead to this series.
Yeah, I think that's completely valid to say. At this point, with practically a minute left, it's a dire chance here to get game one, and I think OKWU, they kind of understand. Teammates are bumping each other right now. It's just use the rest of this game kind of to figure out what mistakes you wanted to clean up. What do you see in Kansas State that you want to figure out? I mean, yeah, Kansas State, they're fooling around a bit too. They understand that game one is theirs. It's no worries whatsoever. But it's a great start from Kansas State. They set the tone early. They are showing that this is not a game that OKWU will be the ones conducting. They'll be the ones that are going to decide what goes on. And OKWU, they got to figure out how can they play with this dance.
Absolutely, and I mean, if there's one team that you could trust to figure it out, I think it would be OKWU, considering the track record they've had this season. So this is one of those games where, I mean, even with the strong performance by Kansas State, you really do not know what will happen in the rest of the series. But the last 30 seconds or the last 20 seconds could be interesting from a mechie standpoint here as Knight looking for something. Nothing quite yet. NK over Moon. NK to the corner, blocked by Giro with one final shot opportunity. This game is all but over. Kansas State up 1-0 in this series.
Yeah, and ball touched the ground. Kansas State get their commanding victory. But I think something we didn't talk about quite yet is obviously these games. It's week 3. It's postseason after this. But right now, Group B. I think we vaguely alluded to it. It's a mess out there in Group B. There is a couple games that are going to determine real badly what in the world is going on. And come on, Giro. Why'd you have to say that? And now the rest of Kansas State's getting into it. But as I was saying, these games actually matter a lot, right? If Kansas State were to win this, and just assume UCF wins their game against Delaware, we have a 3-way tie for first over in Group B, as well as a 3-way tie for second there. So game differential actually matters a lot right now. So if they can get a sweep here, Kansas State, with how they're looking, that's going to propel them really high up into the standings. And it makes something interesting, and they could possibly probably get that 2 seed.
Absolutely. I mean, as things stand right now, I believe Kansas State would secure the 2 seed with a sweep here. While if OKWU wins the series, they would obviously go 3-0 and claim number 1 with Kansas State's fate to be determined. But a 3-1 win by Kansas State could set things up for a tiebreaker series to happen later on. We will have to see. Obviously, things still depend on the results of some other matches. But we are eager to get into the second game as Moon will put one away off of a 50 by Giro. And let's see how that one unfolded. NK looking for the bump on Giro, couldn't quite get it there. And Skeleton Jack was getting bullied in the back net. And Kansas State is not going anywhere.
Yeah, and this is honestly possibly the worst case scenario for OKWU, right? They're probably talking themselves in the comms like, hey guys, you know, first loss, it happens, we'll just make it back to the next game, we'll just beat them right out of the gates. And instead, it's Moon trying to make something happen, and yes, he will! Second shot, second goal for Moon, and it's a nice one with a nice double tap.
I mean, I would have said, based off what you said before that goal, that OKWU is probably not even discouraged right now, considering their track record. But after that incident, I am not sure I could say the same. But anyway, they're looking to rebound as Kansas State will once again push this ball up into the blue half. And Knight will rebound, and we're playing a nice game of ping pong here. Alien Techno looking for a 50. Nothing quite yet. Moon will be next. And if you're Kansas State, I guess you're not necessarily chasing these goals anymore, though it'd be nice to have. If you can hold on to this lead for 4 minutes, even if you get scored on once, you're up 2-0 in this series against OKWU.
Yeah, but they're not going to relent at all. Look at them. Alien Techno, he's going to try something. Maybe a double? No, doesn't have the boost to do it. Skeleton Jack has to clear it out. Giro will be the one on it, but NK gets a big 50. Can they try to put the center to a teammate? No, they cannot. It's too high, but it goes straight down. Next person up is going to be Knight, but a 50 there. We'll keep it nearby. Skeleton Jack, their turn. They're going to try to go for the double. Can't quite reach it, though. It's a bit too high for them, and Techno is just going to clear that out, and yeah, it's still 50, though, by Knight and Moon. Maybe something, but NK, there they go. The beat makes it so OKWU is on their defense. Skeleton Jack's going to have to try to get some control for the squad.
And Knight will get some power for the squad. Skeleton Jack with a shot on net to NK, and OKWU can't find it. That's one day I had to score. Yeah. Speaking of Skeleton Jack, he will almost put one on net, and NK will give the final hope. Actually, Knight will try to do something here, but Kansas State defends a pretty big offensive attempt by OKWU there.
Yeah, but it feels like Skeleton Jack, he missed the mark on the open chance, and there's another open chance. There's no one in that. Knight just rushes it, and 2 chances now for OKWU to get you back in the game, and you just lost them both. NK trying to put a shot there, can't quite do it. Skeleton Jack fakes it out. Knight, chance, no! Covered by Moon. That's a great game by Moon so far. Skeleton Jack, though, will try to get on the ball, but Alien Tech was able to clear it. Next person out to NK, putting it over to a teammate, Knight, but so much time has been bought. It's enough time for Kansas State to mitigate this disaster. Though I say that, there's a shot opportunity now gets put in the corner. It's actually OKWU who's going to keep the pressure up. There's a chance here. 50 on the goal line. Excellent, Alien Tech, though. Kansas State, can they get out? And finally they will. Finally they will.
Kansas State looking to make an opportunity of their own. but I guess they love farming saves at the moment. You know,
It's
we had
all
a
for the
system.
points.
Yeah, we had a system where the top saver gets a prize or an award. Kansas State would be in contention after this game, but Moon looking to make an offensive opportunity happen now. Ball will go past him. Alien Techno, not quite there. If you're OKWU, you love this momentum right now. NK will not quite find the ball, but we really need to make a goal happen if you want to come back in for OKWU here. Knight off the sidewall, but nothing quite doing yet.
Yeah, as much as I might love that they're having pressure, they're also getting so annoyed that there's shot after shot that are just slightly wide. If they're put on target, it could just go in. That's the third opportunity now. That one probably the hardest of them all. The defender was back, but man, you feel like you can't be letting these go to waste, especially when there's an opportunity there, but no, Giro can't quite get the touch. Moon will challenge early. Next person up is Techno. Shot. Will it be in? No, it will be high. It will go down. Those team, it can't get their Giro shot. It will be high as well. Next person up is going to be Techno. No, we can't get the Giros there. Third goal. And with how the shooting's been for OKWU, you gotta assume it's enough.
I think they put magnets in these posts in between the last goal and this one with how many doinks we've just got. But
dude, it's like
regardless,
turkey.
Kansas State does find it, and they might try to find another one after they get a save. Ooh. That is not quite the bounce you want, but they are still fine at the moment. And Kansas State is, I don't quite recall. I remember Kansas State did, in the spring, they pulled off a reverse sweep, right? And then they
reverse swept Delaware.
Oh, and they did do that, yeah. So we are no stranger to reverse sweeps here in the MCC, and we've had teams who have both pulled off reverse sweeps and been reverse swept, I think, or at least held off a reverse sweep. So it'll be very interesting to see how this tide can turn. But Skeleton Jack able to put one on for OKWU. And let's see how this one resulted. Alien Techno, not quite able to read that one. But if you're Kansas State, you're up 2 with 30 seconds left, and you just need to play your ball game, and chances are you will be putting OKWU on the back burner here.
Yeah, it goes in the back right, though. First person up's going to be NK. Into the corner, though, Giro will be the one to control. It's a good capture by him. He's going to take possession, beats one out, but next person there's Skeleton Jack. Shot will be saved. NK, though, is able to keep it alive. Next person up, Skeleton Jack. Shot. It's going to be wide again. Where have I seen this one before? And now the clear. 10 seconds remaining. NK, we'll keep it around on the same side. Next person's there is Giro, though, and it goes up the wall. There needs to be a rush. Skeleton Jack shot, off target. NK, you gotta put a shot on here. It won't be powerful enough, and that's just gonna go in. And with 1 second remaining, it's a done game. Kansas State are on match point. It's gonna need to be a reverse sweep from OKWU, or else they lose their chance at the 1 seed.
You don't think OKWU scores 3 times in 1 second? I'm a believer, man.
You're a believer? What are these pitch speeds gonna have to be?
Come on.
Man, there it goes.
Maybe next time.
Maybe next time. But it's a dangerous game out there now for OKWU. As I was mentioning there for a second, if OKWU gets swept, suddenly records become interesting. OKWU will be 6-7. Kansas State will be 6-5, both on a 2-1 set count. The big question becomes UCF. If UCF was to win, they will be jumping up, and in return, OKWU will be knocked out. So right now, OKWU's hopes are in the fate of either them making a reverse sweep, or else they're going to have to be doing the biggest hate watch of their lives against UCF. And honestly, I don't have the UCF's been looking good.
We will actually see if they're looking good, because if this series of Kansas State versus OKWU ends before the other series, we may actually stream the end of that series. So we may have a live look into that following the end of this one. So we will have to see. That other series did start at 9 Central as well. So it will be a very interesting...
8 Central.
8 Central. So it will be a very interesting course of events, depending on how this game goes. But we will be back to that later as we get into Game 3. And let's see who's taking this kickoff. We got Alien Techno and Knight. Kansas State wins the kickoff. Kansas State looking to score the first goal again. G-Row puts it away in 5 seconds. I feel like that's exactly how long it took last time. We love repeating ourselves here. And G-Row putting KSU in the lead to possibly close this one out.
Yeah, but right now, though, kickoff will go over to G-Row again, and this is a disastrous start if you're OKWU. You have not had control at all in this series. You have not had control in a game. And G-Row, I don't know what he's doing right now. Skeleton Jack's able to clear it, and suddenly that's an breakaway opportunity here for OKWU. Skeleton Jack, can he stick around? Gets a bump. G-Row will be the next one up, and Skeleton Jack just murders a Kansas State player. We haven't seen those last game, really. It was much more less physical, but right now, OKWU, they gotta be pulling out a whole new set of cards, because right now it feels like that theirs have been spotted with, and the dealer knows exactly what's going on.
Absolutely. I mean, it's just been all Kansas State, really, as G-Bro will be in the corner looking to... That will be a double commit, though. OKWU might have a chance if NK can get it past. Now it will be Knight tasked with banging it out, and he will elect to just go back in the corner. And the OKWU corner boost will get stolen, which is not necessarily helping their case. Let's see who's up for this one. NK will not have the boost for that. And now Alien Techno backboard, not quite. G-Row looking to follow up, and also not quite. This is the OKWU defense that we know and love, despite the first 5 seconds of this game. But I'm a believer still that OKWU can turn this around. My prediction of Game 5 is still in the cards.
Yeah, unfortunately right now is OKWU. Their defense might be holding up if you're not in the first 5 seconds. The problem is their offense has been genuinely worrying to watch right now. It has not been the one that's going on, but right now it is OKWU trying to get this ball out. Skeleton Jack gets a 50, will go high. Next person up, it's just going to be Moon out into the center where a teammate will be waiting, but NK is also there, but there's harassment happening on the back lines. Moon is making Skeleton Jack's life miserable, but Skeleton Jack will be the one still on the ball. Flicks it past. G-Row now will be tasked to try to get this out, but there's 2 demos. It's suddenly an open opportunity. Moon is alone in net. Shot by NK will not be the one to work out with, and Techno's able just to clear it out fast. There's a teammate there, G-Row will get saved, and now NK's able to clear it out. But right now, OKWU are slowly putting their presence known, but they need a goal to tie it up.
They do need a goal, and halfway through this game, the opportunities continue to dwindle for OKWU, or OKWU, I should say. And Moon, coming right off my screen, will put that one away for Kansas State, and they are now up 2-0 with 2:22 on the clock. And what more can I say? Kansas State going up, way up in this series now. They're up 2 games. They're up 2 goals. We got 2 minutes left. Let's see if they can do it.
Yeah, but it's been... I don't... Have OKWU scored more... Has OKWU scored 2 goals in a match yet? I'm trying to remember. I'm trying to remember that game 1.
Have they scored more than 1 goal?
They scored 1 goal in game 2.
Well, 1 goal, but more than 1 goal.
I don't know. I don't think they did in game 1. That's a severe worry if you were them. But right now it's harassment, but it won't be enough. Jiro's able to get the stop, but now Skeleton Jack is just going to back pass, but there's no teammate there trying to stick around. Will go center, Moon's clearing it out, and NK can't get the touch. Knight has to go next. Will get there successfully. Alien Techno's able to chop it off, but 100 seconds left, and OKWU have got to do something that they haven't done in the series yet. They got to score multiple. And right now, it's going to be difficult off the corner. Shot will go high. Next person up is going to be Moon. Will get 50 by Skeleton Jack. Knight now has an opportunity. High touch. The Croatian Octane can't quite do it. And right now, a shot opportunity again won't be enough. And Kansas State are holding on. They're able to get the clear out. And OKWU are back to playing some defense with about a minute to go.
And defense is not necessarily what you need right now. I mean, you do need it, but even more so, you need some offense. This is a situation that OKWU's not necessarily used to, but they need that one. Yeah, we're thinking alike right now. They might need this one off the post. Can Knight make something happen? No. Skeleton Jack to the corner. He will take the boost. Let's see if he can get this mid. And Knight will catch it and take it back, and seconds come off the clock. Knight pinch off the wall, maybe. Flick over. Skeleton Jack, left post again. NK, he needs something, anything, off the wall. No one there. And if you're Kansas State, this is looking more and more likely like a 3-0 sweep. And this could really shake things up for Group B, unless OKWU scores right now.
Yeah, right now Skeleton Jack trying to put it out center. Next person up's going to be NK. Shot! It will go in! 11 seconds left. 1 goal down. We've seen the impossible happen before. Kansas State was on the receiving end of it that time. Will it happen to them again?
I need to choose my words carefully here.
Kickoff shenanigans. Kickoff shenanigans? That's all we need to say, right? Oh, there is kickoff shenanigans. It's not. What? That's not what I meant.
Oh no.
All progress undone by OKWU off of a simple kickoff. Techno will put the dagger in. OKWU will be getting 3-0 swept unless they make something happen here. And we will see. No, they will not. This kickoff is not the one that they need. And as time runs out, OKWU gets swept. Kansas State, after getting swept themselves, are suddenly temporarily up at the top of Group B. And OKWU have to watch and see if UCF will dash them down to the play-ins.
Wow. I am stunned, actually, by that result. That was quite a series. I mean, Kansas State was very strong. OKWU, I mean, we've seen OKWU, they typically win by not scoring many goals. You know, they are a team of few goals. But in that case, the defense just wasn't enough against Kansas State, and they couldn't rally up that offense to counter it, and that's kind of what happens. So, a very unfortunate situation for OKWU. But we, I believe, might be getting into this next game. Maybe.
Yes, I believe.
In a second.
You can ignore what the overlay says. It says OKWU Kansas State. That will be updated here. But I think while we're about to get into the next game, we're going to pull over Alien Techno. I think he will be able to join us here in a second and talk about what in the world happened over there. And there he is, Alien Techno. Hello, hello.
Yo, what's up?
Yo, what's up? I mean, amazing game from you guys. 3-0 sweep. What was, I guess, let's ask right away, I guess, every single game. It wasn't, never once did it feel like crazily close. It felt like you guys had control. Was that kind of the vibes in the game with you guys?
Yeah, except for game 2, I feel like we were under pressure a lot, but I know Moon had some great defense. But, you know, when we hop into ranked, we're getting put against SSLs, so I felt like we were very prepared for this match.
Was there anything in particular, and I'll let you get the next question, but looking at OKWU coming into this game 2-0, was there anything in particular you made sure to brush up on to adapt to how they've been winning these games?
We've done zero preparation. You know, we just throw ourselves in and hope for the best. And except for last week, it seems to turn out pretty well. I'm just, you know, a little upset. You know, we didn't have more supporters.
Yeah, I mean, okay. In our defense, OKWU have been looking good this entire. I mean, they took down the team that beat you guys. You remember how you got swept that one time? They beat them. Don't blame us. We didn't realize it was a rock paper scissors situation. we didn't realize it. But I think actually I want to mention that UCF game. You guys obviously got 3-0 swept there, I guess. Was that just a day of feeling off? Did it feel like UCF genuinely were that much better, or was it just like other stuff?
I mean, I think they were like 1-goal games. I think we were just on an off day, and I don't know. We weren't working as well as a team. Mental wasn't really there, but yeah, I don't know. I think if we played them today, we'd probably have a better chance.
Yeah, I think that's completely fair. I mean, it was great looking out. I also want to just bring up quickly Moon. You mentioned him a second ago, but I mean, game 2 was just a Moon game. It was just Moon. And
yeah, wait.
How was it with him?
Do you remember how many goals he had?
I think it was at least 2, but I just remember him making some like major saves as well. He was kind of just doing everything.
Oh yeah, that was a game. I think he had like 2 goals. Like one was a crazy like
there was the
double tap
yeah.
like angle. I don't know how he hit that, and then he had like 5 saves. That was like the game I was talking about, that we were under a lot of pressure, and I think he came up huge there.
Yeah, 100%. But obviously, right now, you guys are technically at the top of Group B as you wait for this UCF Delaware game. Is currently you guys 2-1, and UCF obviously 1-1 until the series is over. And you guys are at a game differential of 6-7. Yeah,
Nothing
no,
funny
I'm sorry,
about
that's
that.
OKWU is 6-7. Sorry, you guys are 6-5.
Get 6-7 in there.
No,
6-7?
OKWU is 6-7. You guys are 6-5. So you guys are positive now. You guys have overtaken OKWU in game differential, which will matter if UCF wins here. But at the moment, you guys have done your job, and there's a good chance that playoffs is in the horizon for you. How are you guys feeling about that?
I'm pretty excited, I'm not gonna lie.
Just giving us that straight excited, fair enough. But yeah, I mean, not the first time you guys have been there. Obviously, you had your lower bracket run in the spring, but you guys obviously, I'm assuming, think you can make it all the way.
Of course, only if you give us a lower bracket run now.
Only
We're
if
more
you
of
do a
a
lower bracket
second
run.
half lower bracket team. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's fair enough. But I don't think we're gonna hold you here for any longer. Techno, congrats on the victory, and we'll see you in the postseason. Good luck, guys.
Thank you, man. See ya. Have a good one.
Yeah, have a good one. And that was with Techno. Great to talk to Techno. It's been fun talking to Kansas State all the time.
Absolutely. I feel like we've had him for a few interviews, right? He's always a fun one.
Yeah, it's constantly Techno feels like. But I mean, we just saw it there. I think UCF just beat Delaware, and do we know what the score is? Is it 2-1 then in the series? Is that correct? I think we are getting that confirmed at the moment here, as we were able to jump in partway through. But it's an interesting one to see, as it looks like the series will keep on going on. And yes, it looks like it is currently 2-1 for UCF, as we are about to get underway here in the next game, I believe. In a moment. I think it'll be real exciting to see here. What will we get from Delaware at the most important games for them? Hopefully, they need this to make sure that they have a chance of something, because... Actually, no. Delaware are guaranteed play-ins now, aren't they?
I mean, technically, all these teams are guaranteed play-ins with the new play-in format.
But, like, Delaware can only go 1-2, and there's already two teams 2-1. I don't think they can get top 2 anymore. Playoffs isn't...
Right, yes, yep.
Wow. I mean, I guess you want to speak on that for a second. Like, I mean, you actually want to speak on the playoff format here to the squad, to the audience.
Yeah. So we have changed the summer circuit playoff format. Previously, it was a bracket for top 8 and a bracket for bottom 8, all separate. We would just have 2 champions. However, we are changing things up. So the top 8 teams will go to the upper bracket of the playoff. The bottom 8 teams will do a GSL play-in for the 4 spots in the lower bracket of the playoff. And then the playoff will continue from there. And there will be 1 champion. So all 16 teams in this summer circuit will have an opportunity for the postseason. And it won't just be 2 different postseasons. It will all be 1 big postseason. And everyone has a chance to win. So basically, the implications of the group stage are, do you go to the play-ins, or do you go to the upper bracket to start things off? And obviously, seeding is an implication as well.
Yeah, and I think we should mention right here, Delaware, I think we mentioned this for a second there, Delaware at best can become 1-2. So they have issues now, because if they win, they will become at best the number 3 seed of Group B. They will be guaranteed to be in the play-ins, but right now it's a question of will they be the 4 seed or 3 seed, as Ducky's able to score for UCF. If UCF were to win this game in this series, they will become the 4th seed. And the big thing here is, obviously, you're the 4th seed, you play a 3 seed. You're a 3 seed, you play a 4 seed. So you do want to try to get that higher seeding here, just to make your life a bit easier as you try to make your way through. But in the end, Delaware, their focus is on this game. Vegas, trying to do something. Can't quite. We'll try to be there again. Josie won't be able to do anything, but Ducky's able to clear it out. Next person up is Lou. Sticking around, trying to take a one-on-one flick. Won't quite get there, and Vegas is able to make the save. Yuritus, sorry, able to clear it out. There's double commit, though, but Yuritus, again, able to make the save. And Josie or Josky? I should ask.
We can try to find that out right in this moment. as we continue to cast the game. And do everything all at once. But here comes Uranus now from the corner to Vegas, who will backflip. TPG not able to put it away. And this is kind of what we saw in the previous game. A lot of opportunities on offense come from the corners and nothing quite doing in general. To Lou now, also who will get saved. Ducky off the left wall. And it is Delaware at the moment, scrambling to get this ball anywhere else on the field. To
Their
Vegas.
boost is so low.
Yeah, I'm noticing the same thing, but let's see if they can make something happen here.
Yeah, but the big clear actually makes it so nice for them. Suddenly lose. Just has to get a pinch. Will do so. We'll have to get the 50 as well. That's a big one. Uranus against Jossie. I'm going to call him Josie. Sorry. If their name's different, we're going to figure that out in a sec. But right now, it's a big clear out. Trying to go up. Can't quite get it. And Lou puts it high. Next person up will be TPG. Takes control for Delaware. Is able to slowly get this ball out. But as 100 seconds are left, Delaware, at the end of the last game, were able to make some shots happen with some team plays. But right now, it's all UCF as they get the second goal to make this just a bit harder.
That is a significant one for them. Lou able to put it away, and Delaware just caught off guard. It's looking like Jazzy.
Jazzy, okay. We are so sorry, Jazzy. Man, I butchered that one twice. But Jazzy right now trying to score double, can't quite do it. Ducky though, shot is gonna be high, looking like OKWU out there. But thankfully they already have 2 goals, more than OKWU can say. As right now Lou's trying to do an opportunity, a pinch maybe, no, can't quite. But this offense is suffocating. It's so difficult. It's Ducky, double tap reset. Yes, it will go in. The flip reset double tap. A bit of order of operations miscomm there, but will score at 3 goals, a minute left. UCF are trying to make their way into the fight to get to the top of Group B. And hi to you too, Ducky.
I mean, this is just crazy to watch. Because it almost, like, it gives me similar vibes to Kansas State and OKWU. When OKWU is not even that weak of a team, traditionally, Ducky will add to the score off of the dish by Jazzy, and Vegas not getting quite the ideal save in that situation. But it's just looking very dominant in this game, which is similar to how it looked in the other series, when I'm just surprised OKWU kind of lost in that fashion, considering the run that they've had this season.
Oh, yeah, 100%. But Delaware, I mean, Delaware's the heartbreaking story of the season, right? They were, what was it, 2-0 up against Kansas State in their match 1 that we watched, and we were like, this is a team that is coming out and swinging. Yeah, they got reverse swept. So, you know, they came out swinging, but unfortunately, there's also endurance involved, and they did not quite get that. Then they played against OKWU. They were up 2-1, and we're like, okay, they're back. They're responding well for a second time. They lost that series in Game 5. They lost 3-2. Now they're in Week 3, the final week of the regular season. They're like, oh, hopefully we can make something happen. But UCF, and that's, I mean, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. What is that pass? What is that? What did I just watch? That's an amazing one, and Lou's able to clean it up, and Jazzy just absolutely styles on them. And the game comes to an end, and yeah, Delaware. It's a rough one for them, as it's over. Game 4, UCF. They were able to put themselves 2-1 in their group.
That is quite the exclamation point to end that game. But there we go. We were able to catch the last game of that series. UCF going up 3-1 to keep Delaware 0-3. And let's see how that shakes things up now in real time.
I think, you know what it does? I think it puts 3 teams at 2-1. Suddenly it becomes a game of game differential, correct?
Yes. And I think so we have to figure out the tiebreakers, because the tiebreaker we're going to end up using is game differential among tied teams first, and then
interesting.
the real game differential of as a whole. So
Yes,
as the
but-
results filter in, we will be figuring this out.
Yeah, but I think it's time that we talk to one of the UCF players. And I think we got here Ducky. Ducky, how are you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing good here. Another day in the office as a retired player.
Yeah, but I mean, it's a good statement from you guys to end out the regular season. 3-1 against Delaware, but honestly, the run didn't just start here. You guys last week were able to make a response after a loss in week one, I believe. It was a 3-0 against Kansas State, and now 3-1 here. How's it feeling after that, especially that week one loss, where it feels like you guys might have been able to have it, unfortunately not able to come out with it there?
Yeah, week one, I fully blame that on myself. I was actually 0 past 2. So I just couldn't really hit the ball. We still took it to 5, but it should have probably been a sweep. But I'm glad that I could, now that I'm subbing in again for the matches again, I'm glad that I can actually have hours on me so I can help the team make playoffs. So,
Yeah.
I mean,
And
everyone's
speaking of-
guaranteed.
Speaking of playoffs, you guys officially are confirmed now to be the 1 seed coming out of Group B. So you guys
Oh.
officially made playoffs, and you've done your job. You guys have done your job well, yeah.
And the 1
Three-
seed, okay.
Yeah, 3 of you are tied 2-1, and due to how it works, you guys are actually. Am I trolling when I say that? I feel like it still counts, right?
I think so.
Because
I don't
what was
know.
that? Because it's.
It don't matter to me, at least.
Either way, you guys have. I'm pretty sure you guys have made playoffs anyway, unless I'm like trolling out of my mind. But we'll find out soon enough. You'll get confirmation probably by the end of tonight or the end of the week. But you guys have done your job extremely well. I guess like this game. Let's focus up on the Delaware game. We were only able to catch these last 2 games due to us watching the Kansas State OKWU game. And I guess what's it like playing with your teammates there? Because you guys look like you are like really well suited together.
We're actually like very unfamiliar with each other still. We're still meshing things out, but we had some kinks issues. Like game 1, we lost that because it was mainly just a second man issue. We just talked it out, and then our comms were pretty good. I felt like I stood up as a leader, just making sure, hey, go second, or I need to go second, or just it was just that calm that basically got us back into the series, and then we just won every game after that.
Yeah, I mean, you guys did look good out there, so that's the big thing. But I think looking towards the future into the playoffs, I guess you guys believe you can win it all? Let's go with that.
I mean, we're just here to have fun. We can probably win it.
Yeah. Well, we're not going to hold you here for much longer. I think go celebrate the team. You guys got your victory that I think it looks like you guys were expecting, but I guess the fun begins in a few weeks here as the playoffs go on. So good luck to you guys and have a good one.
Awesome. Thank you guys for your time.
Yeah, of course. But with that, I believe the interview wraps up. And UCF versus Delaware, a 3-1 victory, and that's a big one for the side of UCF as they're able to get themselves that major 2-1. And now the 3-way tie that we will be looking at who comes playoffs. But I believe it is UCF. I feel like I did not just lie to Ducky's face.
Yes, that does seem correct. So if all indications are correct, it will be UCF and Kansas State as the top 2 seeds coming out of Group B. We have a 3-way head-to-head tie between UCF, Kansas State, and OKWU. And the game differentials put things in favor of UCF and Kansas State. And it turns out that even with the Delaware series factored in, that result is the same. So I think we can officially say that it's UCF and Kansas State making it out of Group B. Of course, the other teams will go to the play-in, and that will be next week.
Yeah, I think let's actually talk about the play-in. We have a bracket here we can show about how the play-in actually works, if we can bring that up. But I think the big thing to talk about is, like you said earlier, there is no separation anymore. If you are the 4th seed in the group, you can make a run if you genuinely believe you can. And as it is right there, the big thing to point out is that Group B number 3, right? That OKWU spot that they're going to be taking up. Will be playing against the Group C number 4. Or, yes, the Group C number 4, who I believe is... Who is that Predator? I'm going to try to bring this up so I'm not lying to people. At the moment, it's looking like it's going to become Oh, right. This is the messy group. Sorry. So we're not actually going to know. This is, for reference, Group C is 4 teams that are all 1-1. We don't know what's going on there. You got to tune in for a different time to see what happens over there. But effectively, it's a mess over in Group C. OKWU's got to play that. So their loss has just put them in a dire situation, effectively. I think it's fair to say. Wouldn't you say so?
Yeah. I would say current indications are pointing to the loser of Kentucky Blue versus Michigan Reschedulers will most likely end up being the number 4 seed out of that group just because of the current game differentials.
Right. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, that's a absolutely huge one, but actually, I don't think game differential matters there, right? Because it becomes down to head-to-head because it's going to be 2 losers.
Right. Yes.
Oh, wait. So yeah, we actually just don't know anything. So pretty much, we have no clue what's going on. Group C. Group C is absolute madness. If we like bring up here the leaderboard of all the teams, it's a really good way we can show off Group C. Yeah, there's 4 teams 1-1. Group B, you can ignore those results. They are not updated for today yet. Group C though, yeah. But what is that? We will be seeing Nebraska, Texas Tech at some point. Kentucky, Michigan is another major game. These are just absolutely massive ones of win and you're in the playoffs, lose and you're in the play-ins. So it's such an important thing to get your victory.
And even the seeding is not set either, technically, for the reason we just described. So Group C is quite possibly the most shaky group we have at the moment. And yeah.
Yeah, 100% I agree with you there. But I think we've talked about the play-ins there. But let's talk about the playoffs and how that works, because we haven't talked about that yet. And as you can see, it's a fun one. It is going to be a 12-team playoff. You can see that the play-in teams will be over in the lower bracket right away. You make your run through the play-ins, congrats. You're now in the top 12. You get a chance to make your run happen. If you were the 1 or 2 seed, you got an extra life. Use it as you can. Maybe make a run to the grand finals, hopefully. Not to mention, if you make it to the grand finals, same as we did in the spring, it's a bracket reset. A massive extra life to have, especially when they can become so competitive. But I think it's going to be really interesting, especially to see that lower round 1. Because I have a feeling some play-in teams like an OKWU, if they were to make their way through, they can do some real damage, I think.
Absolutely. I mean, this is just in general, when you have a group stage quite like this, it really is. I'm just stunned, and it's just incredible to watch. I mean, even in the MCC traditional regular season format, where it's 2 conferences of 8 teams, and they're already so closely matched, you get 4 groups of 4 teams, and it's just chaos all the way through. So it will certainly be a fun watch through this play-in next week and through the playoffs, which will otherwise match that playoff schedule from the spring, but with some added games in there. So it'll be an exciting watch.
Yeah, but I think we're talking about the future, the hold, and I think the future will be nearby. Tomorrow, there will be 2 games going on. 7 Central Time. CSUF versus Western Kentucky. Win and you're in the playoffs. Lose and you are in the play-in. It is a simple game for both of them. You just need to get yourself a victory, and you made your life so much easier. But that sounds like something we will find out about more tomorrow. So, thank you so much for watching the MCC tonight. We hope we see you here tomorrow for some more games.